but he lived on 78th and 87th for most of his life. So he used to go to Neir's. So just kind of.
And then we just went in one day, and like you said, you walk in and just people say hello to you. You strangers, you walk in, you walk out friends. So I just love the place, really.
Oh,
and Lisa, if you're on the call, we love you.
We miss Lisa.
I know it's a few people on. I'm losing track, so I was like, and I just wanted one story that I know about you guys, which was so touching. Tell me a little bit about the Mets and your love affair.
Yeah, well, we were going opening day, New York Mets, for 20...
Since we started dating.
Yeah, about 28 years.
1989 was the first time we went.
We just got frustrated with, I guess, just big baseball. Ticket prices, you can't buy single opening day tickets, you got to buy. So we said, you know what, we're going to start a new tradition. And we wound up coming to Neir's. And I remember coming into Neir's that day, and you had a little setup for us with a table all reserved so we could watch the Met game. Unfortunately, we're going to miss it this year, but we'll definitely be back next year.
Right. Well, a lot of people are missing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hopefully when they finally do have an opening day, we can still do it.
Yeah.
So.
And I love your story, and the reason why I mentioned that because, it's just the microcosm of what Neir's is all about. Sometimes we all go to all the big places, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But then sometimes you just want a place that you feel it's almost like your second living room,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. Neir's is that's for sure.
Yeah, and I really, really appreciate you guys always supporting us, suggestions, ups and downs and all. That's what it's all about. There's some family members that, love and hate, but at the same time, it's still family, It's
That's right.
Part of the journey. So I love that. So thanks.
Although there's no one at Neir's that we hate, so we're all good.
Yeah, lots of love here. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. I'm gonna see if I could get to a couple more people.
Yep.
Great.
There's
we're still gonna be here, but we're gonna keep walking the dog.
Yeah, just hang out. I'm just gonna mute you guys. You could just hang out.
Okay.
Okay, mute. Okay, so if you just joined right now. I'm here on the call with a bunch of Neir's regulars and just people that really love Neirs Tavern like myself. I want to kind of welcome everybody. We just heard from Suzanne and William Langon. They are very, very big fan of Neirs. You just heard their story. Hopefully we can record this and you can listen back. But I kind of want to get to another great couple. I'm going to see if they're here. Okay, there you go. I think they're here. Glenn and Griselda, I want to get to you guys and ask you, I'm going to see if you're there. Are you guys there?
We're here.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So I want to get to Glenn and Griselda, who is, I don't know how to even describe it. They're like Neir's squared. So could you just introduce yourself and tell us what's your connection with Neirs Tavern, just like William and Suzanne did?
All right. So in 2015, we were looking to find a place to raise our kids, and we looked at different neighborhoods and different boroughs, and we decided Queens was going to be the best one. So I didn't drag my husband to as many openings and showings and things, but when he left the house and saw Neir's, he screamed and gave me the biggest heart attack. He goes, "That's it, that's the house, that's the house." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so glad," not knowing that that's where they filmed The Goodfellas. So it's not the location, it's not how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, it's the fact that Neir's, is right around the corner. And I only started going a few years ago, but it's a great date night. The kids love it. They love the food. They love the staff. And we've met so many great people in the last few years.
And we're just hoping in the fall we get voted homecoming king and queen.
Right. Yeah, I think Bill and William and Suzanne, you guys are gonna do a show off or something, and I think a few other couples are here. We can do king and
We
queen.
should do like, how well do you know your partner competition?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
No.
Yeah, definitely.
I would lose. I don't know why I'm even saying that. Glenn would know all the answers.
And so it's yesterday I posted something on our Facebook page, and it was the one. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It was the 10-year anniversary of this couple that met at Neir's Tavern. Yesterday was 10 years to the day that met.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Wow.
Eventually got married, and they're like, I mean, they moved to Florida, but whenever they come to New York, they're here. So those are the beautiful stories that over 190 years, or at least 10 years I've been here, has been so captivating. And your story is just as important. You know, I mean, I don't know how great that is, because he's like, you know, I'm gonna buy a house here because Neirs is here. Like, I love that. That's amazing.
Well, one thing you should know is Glenn is a trendsetter. He's always ahead of everything, the pizza oven, the restaurant trends. And he knows this is like a great place to meet good people. It's always been great conversations. Yeah. The events have always been great. And you cannot find this in a lot of neighborhoods, in a lot of boroughs. We met in Williamsburg. We lived in Greenpoint. We lived in Dyker Heights. We are not the kind of people that just stay in our neighborhood. We go all over Manhattan. I drive. This is the best. This is the place to be.
Wait, before I let you turn it to somebody else, I got one more story that's funny. We threw my wife's 39th birthday at Neir's as a surprise, because I knew she'd expect a surprise for 40. So I was like, I'll get her 39.
39. I got her.
So that, I mean, 29, because she's only 30 now.
Yes.
But that morning, my parents were here, and
I was like, that's a nice surprise. Totally random. They hate New York, but okay.
so all our friends were at Neir's, and then my wife comes down. She's like, I'm bored. Let's go to Neir's. And I was like, we're not ready. The party's not set up. So I was like, no, can't go to Neir's. And she was like, what? You love going to Neir's? And I was like, I've had enough of that place.
He was acting a little weird.
You said you had enough of that place?
Oh, Glenn is a terrible liar. He doesn't lie. Like,
She was surprised. It was a great day.
yeah, it was a nice party.
Right. And that was cool. I actually recorded it, and somehow I'm going to have to try to see if we can find it and share it on our Facebook page. And we caught her. She was so surprised. She walked in regular, and she saw all her friends, everybody she knew come in, and she just, here's the words that she couldn't stop saying. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm like,
No, I'm serious.
That's all I remembered. That's all I remember. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm like, oh my God.
That's because my friends were there from Seattle, from college, people I met with Glenn. So he knew he knew I didn't want a big celebration. Otherwise, he would have invited everyone on Facebook. But it meant so much because it was unexpected.
Yeah,
it was
beautiful.
the best people I could share that birthday with, and it made my year.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. I'm going to try to get through as many people as possible. We have a lot of people here. So just shows the love. Everybody just wave, actually. I'm not sure. Just, there you go. It's beautiful. Look at this.
Yay!
Love you guys. So I'm going to just, again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to mute all, and then I'm going to pick someone just randomly and see if we can get to some more beautiful stories. And while I have my my wine, this is my little happy hour. Some people do, or you can just drink your water. It's all good. So I think there's Curtis. Maybe it's Curtis. Hold on, unmute.
Hello, everyone.
Curtis.
Hey, good to see you all. As you all probably know, we were going to do a tremendous blowout St. Patrick's concert, and
Curtis, you're gonna have to stop.
Okay.
Because most people don't understand your importance right now.
It says now.
And I have to properly introduce you.
And you know what else I saw on there?
Hold on, I think
The other thing.
getting some other calls here. Let me unmute. Okay, Curtis, gotcha. Okay, Curtis, I have to give you the introduction you deserve. Curtis is a musician. He's also an attorney, but his heart as well is just filled with music. This guy plays so many instruments. I can't even I don't know. He's amazing. But what's more important is that, so more important, he's been playing at St. Patrick's Day parade, St. Patrick's Day event. I lost track at like 7 or 8 years in a row.
It may be 8 or 9. It's coming up on a decade at some point soon.
Yeah, almost a decade he's been playing religiously and say, you know what, I want to be part of this history. I believe in Neirs Tavern and everything was about, and we believe in what you're doing as well. So we've unequivocally just been like, whatever you want, your heart is pure. So give us a little background. How do you get in contact with Neirs Tavern? How do you even know this place existed?
Thank you, Loy. I want to also mention my fabulous band, the Dilettantes. They all say hello and wish everyone well. I don't know if I want to give a story because maybe we need a song. What do you think? So here's a song that is suitable for the occasion. It's a Big Star tune, Alex Chilton, and here we go. Years ago, my heart was set to live. Whoa, and I've been trying hard against unbelievable odds.
Hey, Ken, Peg.
It gets so hard at times like now to hold on. The guns they wait to be stuck by, and at my side, God. There ain't no one going to turn me around. Ain't no one going to turn me around. People stand around to tell you who they know. Trying to send you, and it's easy to go. Take you up and spin you round and set you in a row. You don't even have to. You can just say no. There ain't no one going to turn me around. Ain't no one going to turn me around. I've been built down and trusted, broke down and disgusted. Look at this and look at us. You just wait. Just hold on. Hold on. Years ago, my heart was set to live. Whoa, and I've been trying hard against strong odds. It's so hard at times like now to hold on. The guns they wait to be stuck by. At my side is God. There ain't no one going to turn me around. Hold on. Hold on. And that's it.
Love it. Thanks so much, Curtis.
Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Aisha, and everyone at Neirs. Looking forward to seeing you all before too long.
Definitely.
We'll get through this and we'll see you on the other side.
Right on. Hold on.
So,
All right, guys. Thanks so much. That was great, wasn't it? I mean, like, think about it. This is like crazy. This is great. I love technology, but sometimes I hate it. But in this case, I like it. So we got a lot of people here that I'm going to try to get through, but can I get to Nancy? Nancy, hold on, we're trying to unmute you. I think you're unmuted. Unmute. And Nancy is, I got, okay, there you are. Good. Nancy, I can't even imagine. The only thing I can remember with Nancy, I remembered we had, I think it was it a costume party? I think it was, and
it was the 70s night.
Was it? Oh, it was 70s night. First of all, let's introduce yourself, how you got connected to Neirs Tavern, and then I want you to tell that story. So introduce yourself first.
Well, you can see Charlotte was on a few minutes ago, and it says Mario, but that's Karen sitting right there. I met them at the dog run in Forest Park, and the first time I went to Neirs was with them. So they turned me on to going to Neirs. I don't know what happened to Charlotte. And, we just loved it. It was a homey place. We had a good time. We went a few more times. I dragged some of my other friends you can see down here, Kathleen and Bernadette. And we started coming to all your shindigs.
That's great. And can you tell us that story with the 70s night?
We came for the 70s night because we love 70s music. You had the DJ Willie there. Yeah. And we dressed up apropos. And I won the contest. I got a sweatshirt, a fleece sweatshirt. The fleece.
Right.
Love it.
And, it sometimes it's not just the prizes, it's just the people that you're around.
Oh, we had a blast.
And it was so beautiful. And I remember there was a story where it was a lady, I'm not sure if it was 70s night, maybe it's a different event, but it was a costume thing. And a lady walked in and came by herself. And, it doesn't matter. You come by yourself, you're a female by yourself, or a guy by yourself, or a group of girls or ladies. And either way, she came by herself. She sat in a corner. And I said, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. She was all dressed up. She was playing the part.
ugly sweater, maybe. That was ugly sweater night. Right, Kathleen?
Maybe it was the ugly sweater. But you know what? The thing was, it's like, as I sat there, I kept checking back on her. And I felt a little because she didn't have the group that she came with. And I got to tell you something. So I kept checking back on her. And I tell you, I disappeared for a while to go take care of stuff. I came back in. And there was this big smile on her face. I'm like, what's going on? She was engulfed with another group of ladies. And I'm like, you guys know her? Like, no, we just met her. She was sitting by herself, but we told her just to join our parties of the 4 or 5 ladies that we had. And I was like, oh, I thought you guys were together. It's like, no, she was by herself. I said, let's just join us, the ladies.
Can't have that at Neirs sitting by herself.
Yeah. And she wrote me a letter. I don't know if people know that, but she wrote me a message, like quietly, a message explaining how that totally changed her evening and how that week was one of the worst weeks she had. But then, she's like, let me just go anywhere and no one's coming with me. And she got basically just Neirs. And she's the best evening she's had. So I just want to thank you for doing those things, that recognizing when people are by themselves, they're lonely, and they maybe want someone to speak to, but they're uncomfortable, to just tell them, like, come hang out with us.
The more the merrier.
Yeah, it's just great. I love that. And so thanks so much, Nancy. This is great. And I'm still singing the song from in my head right now. All right. Thanks, Nancy. Just hang out with us. There's some great stories coming. We only have a limited time, but we're going to try to get everybody in as best as possible. Let's see who we got. Somebody, remember, raise their hand first. I'll pick. All right, Bobby. What's up, buddy? All right, let me get you on, Bobby. Where's Bobby?
Hey, can you hear me?
There you go. Yes.
Oh, how are you? How's everyone? Glad to see everyone.
What's up, Bobby? How are you, man? Tell us a little bit about you and how you. I want you to. Oh my God! I can't wait to get to your story.
My story.
Goodfellas.
Yeah. Hey.
You know what? Let's just cut straight to that Goodfellas story that you have live on scene back in the 80s. And there's a video floating around.
Right.
The video floating around. And please explain to us, how did you film that video? And then it ended up being on some show, like some national show too.
It was back in 1989, and they were filming, of course, by the bar. That's, I think, how I got introduced to Neir's, because I really, I wasn't actually never a bar person, that I went to the bar. So, that. So that's how I got introduced to Neir's. I actually spent, I would say, 3 days. It was, of course, it was June, the end of June, and it was hot. Almost like 3 days there, Naturally, I didn't go inside, but they were filming also, and I got to meet a lot of the celebrities, similar to Samuel L. Jackson.
So this was in June, but in the movie, they were wearing like mink coats like it was wintertime.
We were sweating, and they were putting down actually fake snow in front of the bar, in front of Neir's, right? And this was like a June hot night. I mean, it was hot, the 80s, right? And I remember they were doing there, and then I met, as I say, a lot of the celebrities, and I actually...
Who did you meet?
Well, I met, De Niro, again, I never got to talk to, but I'm actually seeing in the video. I met Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta, briefly, and I came up to Samuel L. Jackson. And at that time, I guess a lot of people didn't know who Samuel L. Jackson was, correct?
No, he can start now.
Right. He was only a character actor in the movie, Stacks, correct? So anyway, it came, so they said, oh, here's Samuel L. Jackson, you want his autograph? But I said, well, who's this guy? He ain't a big star. So you know what I said? I don't remember, but it sticks in my head that it said to me, well, I'll take it anyway. So, I mean, now, he's a major star, obviously. So, and then, actually, I got talking about the fake snow. I have it somewhere, a little packet of the fake snow that I
Wait. Hold up.
Yes.
Has anybody heard that? Did anybody actually heard what he just said?
Yes, it's the truth.
89? You feel it?
June of 8, I think it was, it had to be June, because the movie came out in 90.
How long ago was that?
It was actually June, I believe, June 28th, 1989.
All right, so
I have the call sheet, by the way.
Over 30 years ago, and then you took a piece of the fake snow.
Picked it up with my hand.
And you have it, right? Like to this day, you have it.
Somewhere I got to look for it. I wish I should, if I was prepared. Wait, hold on. I think I see it. And I think I see a call sheet. Just hold on. Right. Everybody, do not go anywhere. Hold on.
I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell the rest of the gang. Can you believe this?
Yeah,
This is history.
This is, first of all, the original call sheet from the movie. I know you can't see it too good online. Could you see it?
Bring it up closer.
Wait, okay. Hold on.
See a little bit better. Yeah, location, call sheet, WB. Warner Brothers. Wow.
Right. And actually, the date is on there, too, if you can read it.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I didn't see that, but it definitely.
It tells you the interior shots and exterior shots.
Right. Wow.
It's a long, it's 2 pages. See, it's more about the shot setup.
So it says Goodfellas on it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it has the Goodfellas, and it has. I haven't seen this in a long time. Yeah. Actually, the date was Thursday, June 29th, 1989. Let me see. And you can see it.
Wow, that's amazing. Listen, Bobby, we're gonna move on, but
wait, I got the snow.
Oh, you had the snow.
I have the snow.
He's got the snow.
I know when you look at it, you're gonna say, "What has he got? A bag of cocaine?" There you go. Look. That's the original snow that I picked up in front of Neir's, 1989.
So that's what they used to put around in front of Neir's Tavern, make it look like it was wintertime.
Right.
And you have it.
Right here in the package. I don't open it because I don't want to touch it, but it's
Right.
the original in the package. The snow that was in front of Neir's right by the door. I picked it up with my hand and put it in this. Unbelievable, right?
That's amazing. Bobby.
And I got some autographs here too, obviously. You know.
Oh my God. So obviously we're going to have to create an event around you.
I got another little surprise for you right now, outside of Goodfellas, because, I mean, that's a big thing.
Right.
I have sitting right here in my man cave, right? The Neir's drum set.
Oh, look, just like Neir's.
What? Whose drum set is that?
The drum set.
Oh, is that the one we gave you?
Yes, sitting here in my mini studio.
Oh God, I'm glad that you put it to good use. That's
Yeah,
good.
I be honest with you, I don't know how to play. I'm just a keyboardist. But did you see it?
Yeah, I see it. It's like,
and it actually has on. You can't see it on the bass drum. Property of Neir's Tavern.
oh, that's great. I love that. I love that he says that. You know, I love this drum set. It's great, but I really don't know how to play. I'm really a keyboardist.
Right, I don't know how to. Honestly, I don't. One day I will learn, though.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. It's been
The
great.
drums still look in good condition, right?
Yep. Hey, thank you, Bobby. So we're gonna get to Megan again. Sorry, I wish I could get everybody at the same time. And my son is like screaming in the background. Evan, come here. But I want to get to as many people as possible. I'm gonna get to Megan. Megan.
Hey.
Wait, let's see. Okay.
And Kiko, he's on fire.
Megan and Kiko.
How's it going?
What's up, guys?
You know.
Every day's the same.
Have you heard? It's like a virus out there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I know.
Living room,
Woke
going
up
to the
and I
kitchen.
found out.
Hold on.
And, you know, we were the first ones to play with the checkerboard at Neir's.
Yes.
And it was the day before the whole city got shut down. So we were day drinking at Neir's, drinking Diet Coke and rum, and playing checkers. So we had to order our own checkerboard, and then we got a ton of rum delivered from Dexter Wines.
Wow.
Now we're reliving our last day at Neir's here.
Yeah, I'm trying to paint the walls and then some Neir's flavor.
We need some green walls.
We need green walls. I want to paint a mural of Yvette somewhere.
Yeah.
yeah, and just don't paint my big teeth. You know, like.
Oh, you gotta have to be, because you know what? You're nothing but a big smile in our faces.
Yeah. But the only thing that's missing is there was a guy we met at the bar once that showed us his diaper strap.
Yeah.
And he said that when he went there that he planned on drinking all day and night. So since he was power drinking, he needed his power diaper.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a thing.
All kinds of characters.
Yes. That's a thing.
And he got so mad at us when we asked him if he flushed his diaper, and he said that you don't flush a diaper, you throw it out.
Yeah.
There's all kind of characters. Love it. So
I won't name him though.
No, there's not.
Tell me quickly. Again, is Megan and Kiko, of course. But how did you guys get in contact with Neir's Tavern? How do you even know that Neir's Tavern existed?
He lived on one side and I lived on the other. We'd walk by all the time.
Yeah. And I always saw it, and I thought, you know what? This place looks interesting. And one day we just decided to go in, and we did. And that's when we just started talking to everybody.
Yeah.
And it just everything else is history.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and it just just flowed. So you guys, I would say you guys are regular because you definitely I know you by name. And I know you by name. You're definitely.
I know your social security number.
Yep.
I know your PIN. We're like this.
Thank you, guys. This is amazing. So, again, with all the stuff that's being presented here, Bobby, Flash, Megan, everybody, all this great stuff. It's like one of my biggest dreams was to make the first ever Neir's customer community museum, like the customer community museum. Like, if we're gonna hit 200 years old, wouldn't it be great if we had like a museum of all our customer community, of these stories being told, that's put up on the wall, or some way to archive these, and so that when we go to Neir's Tavern, we can click on this story, we can click on Glenn's story, or Nancy's story, or Megan's story, and you know what, we don't have to be celebrities to actually have a museum. I think Neir's is a people's museum, and so one of my goals is to create this first like customer community museum of its kind in the United States. Because I think Neir's has kind of moved on from burgers and beer, which is still, that's what we pay our rent, but it's also an institution, Imagine if the Queens Museum or the Metropolitan Museum have to actually stay alive by selling burgers and beers, they probably wouldn't have made it. So we're trying to figure out another way to actually make sure Neir's not just reach 200 years old, but reach there with the institution intact. It's a lofty goal with all the virus. We don't know what the hell's going to happen, but I really feel invigorated by everyone showing up on this call today. And right now I'm looking at Tara. Tara, are you ready to get on? Hold on, I'm going to unmute you.
We're going to be unmuted.
Oh,
Hi, everyone.
Please tell us a little about yourself real quick.
Sure.
Hello from 79th Street.
Yeah.
We're about 2-3 blocks away.
Yeah, a 5-minute walk.
Love it.
We're doing well. We're all working from home. Our daughter came home. We discovered Neir's when we moved here in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been coming fairly regularly ever
Yeah,
since
yeah.
then.
Bingo, wings.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards.
Oh, we got anybody else bingo people here?
Woo, bingo!
Cool. And so what was your first time like? Like, how did you decide, you know what, I'm going to keep coming back? Because you could have came the first time just to check it out and never came back. But why did you actually come back?
It was great.
It was like love at first sight. And we couldn't have imagined not coming back. I mean, we really love like bars and bar culture and like bar history. And we couldn't have imagined not coming back.
Yeah, Neir's has it all.
It has it all, yep.
Thank you guys. Thanks from 79th Street. Thanks, 79th Street.
Yeah, we're
thanks guys. So I have, oh my goodness, we have a few more people here. Matt Fanning came on, Ruben, Kathleen, so many people. Ruben, come on, you got to tell me that favorite story of mine that I love. I'm going to try to unmute you here. There you go. So Ruben, please, Ruben.
Yes. Hey guys, everyone. Bobby Flash. Oh man, it's just me as a kid, like growing up across the street.
Yeah. That's my favorite story.
So
guys, you're gonna love this story. I mean,
there are two houses right across the street. There are two houses that are joined, and then they have the balconies. So I used to live across the street there when I was a kid, and so when we used to walk to school, or rather coming back, so Neir's was always had an issue with that door in the back. And back in those days, you could still smoke inside these establishments, and you always see smoke kind of just from that slight sliver of the door, and all this noise, the music, and just like the laughs. So that was always a memory that kind of stuck with me as a kid. And I
went to school.
Right.
Saw
just
that
walking by. And by the way, I found out a couple months ago, I was talking to my mom, and she was saying, because when they first moved to Woodhaven, and I guess at that point I was a toddler, they whenever they took me trick-or-treating or my cousin trick-or-treating, it turns out that they would actually stop by at Neir's and they would go trick-or-treating there as well. So it turns out that I might have been inside Neir's at some point when I was even younger than 8, 9 years old. So yeah, I always remembered that sort of memory of just.
And I always love the way you described it. Like you live across the street and you had to pass near to get to school as a young kid.
Yeah, because I went to PS60. So what happened was we always used to cross the street. It was really more out of curiosity, because rather than, and also just if that street is weird. Once it hits 78th Street, 88th Avenue kind of curves in and then keeps going. So we always used to cross the street first. So we would actually be walking in front of Neir's all the time.
Right.
Or this, at that point, it would have been, this was prior to the renaming again. So I forget what the name was before. This would have been.
Yeah, they called it Union Course for a
Right.
little while, but I mean that was the name on what they put up. But everyone
exactly.
still called it Neir's. Like
Of course.
But what the story of you like making this full circle was something that stuck with me. It stuck with me, and what he left out was this thing where, as a kid, he saw this smoke coming through that side door, and people laughing inside the bar, and he can't go in there, and he's just passing by. I go to PS60 every day as a kid, and like, oh, these old men laughing and smoking, and all the smoke coming out through the crack of the door, and then he had this deja vu. One day, I think we were in there together, and we were just laughing and smoking, not smoking, but laughing, laughing and drinking, and having a good time. And it was almost like, oh my God, I'm one of those guys.
Right.
In the bar that I was trying to understand what they were doing in there probably 2 years before. And it was this deja vu moment, it was.
That's right. I forgot about that. There was that one night where that sort of realization just kind of came, and it's like, oh, I'm one of those guys now. I'm one of those people inside there having laughs and enjoying my time at Neir's.
Right.
It's amazing to kind of just, the idea of just curiosity as a kid, and probably I shouldn't have been thinking about what it would be like to be inside that space one day, to finally kind of growing up and being able to be in that space. It's a pretty cool
story, man.
Cool moment.
And Ruben and also Griselda is on a Neir's 190 committee that we formed just over a year ago to celebrate Neir's turn 190 years. And they've done incredible work. I mean, incredible. You see that big street celebration we had back in October? They were responsible for that. I mean, really, they were responsible for that.
And Kenny's on too.
Oh yeah, Kenny's on as well. Kenny Wilson, Kenichi Wilson, amazing individual. They were also on the Neir's 190 committee, and that street celebration would have not happened without the entire committee. Some of them not here today, and even the January big save, that end up making national and international news. This wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for them. That Neir's 190 committee single-handedly saved Neir's Tavern during times of my uncertainty and how I could do this by myself. So for that, I give them all the credit. They were featured in different publications, New York One, NBC, Fox 5, individually and together as a group. They did a great work. And that's the meaning of a community. A customer community is so powerful. And that's why I always say it myself, you might hear me say it, community conquers all. And like you got any kind of real struggles going on, even a pandemic, the community conquers all. We could come together. So I want to thank the Neir's 190 committee right now for everything that they've done. It's been an amazing journey, and hopefully we create the Neir's 200 committee, because we're going to probably need a lot more.
Definitely.
Great. Thanks, Ruben. Thank you so much. And we're almost, we have about 15, 20 minutes left, but I want to get to, I'm just going to pick someone. Matthew Fannin.
How you doing, brother?
Wow, look at you. Can anybody see his background?
Yeah, baby.
Is anybody looking at that right now?
Yeah. You should have seen it during Sandy. It wouldn't be so nice.
I love it, man.
Hey,
Matt, introduce yourself.
Go ahead, buddy. You want to see Manhattan for a second? I'll show you Manhattan.
Come on, show it to us. Wow. You're pretty high up.
No, my aunt.
Yeah.
You're so high up, you're cutting out.
And there's the ocean.
Oh, that's beautiful.
There's Marine Parkway Bridge over there.
Yeah.
No, the ocean over here.
Wow.
How you doing, brother?
Good. We're
How you making out?
Oh man, roller coaster. But we're pushing through.
Yeah.
We're just trying to do what we can with what we have, and that's the name of the game. Do what you can with what you have. And I appreciate you guys.
You're not working tonight?
Negative. I got off this morning, and
nice.
And so far I'm still safe and COVID free. But
yeah, I hear that, man.
Who knows? My mom, thank God she recovered. She had it, so the past couple of weeks have been hectic, but she had it.
Brother.
She recovered, so happy for that. So Matt,
I started a little early. I started a little early, but everything's good here.
I guarantee you, I beat you.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that. I had some intox cooking tonight, and it came out all right, you know. But everything's good, and it's good to see you, and I hope to see you soon. All right.
Definitely. Thank you, Matt. Thank you.
Stay safe, my brother. God bless you, man.
All right. Buddy.
Hey, cheers on the victory, bro. Cheers on the victory.
Yes, part 2 of the victories coming through with the big reopening, right?
Yeah, man.
So,
all right, brother. Take care of yourself. Thanks for checking in, man.
Definitely, Matt. So, you know, in a few minutes, we're going to have at 7 o'clock, you know, we do an hourly, you know, thank your emergency worker, first responder, the frontline workers. So as we're finishing this up, we'll be hitting just about 7 o'clock where we can take a minute and just to kind of give a round of applause just between us to all the frontline workers that are fighting right now. Trying to keep us safe. So we'll be doing that, and we're leading right into that, and then we're just going to end. But in the meantime, I see Kathleen is here.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on? What are you
Not much. How are you guys doing? All right?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Good. I'm glad to hear your mom's doing good.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy.
So my first experience with Neirs was probably back in 1977, 78. I grew up in Richmond Hill, hung out a lot in Woodhaven, and you know, in those days, the kids, older teenagers, we kind of congregated on corners. And I remember at the end of almost every Friday or Saturday night, we'd say, "Let's go to Neir's for beers." So we'd always end the night by, you know, there, which is a lot of good memories. And one of my fondest memories is when my brother took me there for St. Patrick's Day one year. God rest his soul. I have great memories. And we celebrated St. Patrick's Day like true Irish people do. And I experienced my very first hangover the next day. And I had a job interview in the morning, which I made it to, but I didn't get the job. But it's always been a great memory for me. And then years later, you know, here we come back again. I'm there with Nancy to play bingo and ugly Christmas sweater parties and 70s parties, and grateful that you're doing all that you're doing to keep Neirs going, because it holds a lot of dear memories for a lot of people. You're a good man.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a community effort, you know, again,
Right.
community.
Absolutely.
So, you know, again, you got such, you know, it's got such beautiful memories. Again, my goal is to figure out a way to preserve all of that, you know. You know, if I can have my dream, it would be to create this Neirs Customer Community Museum.
Yeah, and we feel that, you know, I live in Middle Village, but I still feel like to a degree I am part of that community because of the history that I have there, the memories that I have from that place, you know.
It doesn't matter where you live. It's
Right.
just like, you know, your history, your connection to Neirs Tavern. I have people that live in Seattle, Oregon, that order shirts and stuff, and Florida, all over the country And I'm like, why is this T-shirt order coming from like, you know, somewhere in the Middle West, South Dakota? Like, you know, and it doesn't even matter where you are. It's just that your connection with the place.
It's the memories.
Yeah.
And you know, just your sense of community is it's heartwarming to know that it still exists, you know, in everybody's hustle and bustle days of life, and you know, people come together for a good cause. That's very, very uplifting.
Yeah.
Very uplifting.
I mean, I've seen some things that I'm just like, this is amazing. But you know, it's hard work, and I wish this was my full-time gig. I think I would be able to do a lot more, but you know, as you guys have, you have your family, you have work, you have this, you have that. But you know, after 11 years, I'm still trying to push through, and every day, I think small business alone have their own version of pandemics and viruses in their they got to fight through, and that's what it's like for 11 years, you know. But we push through because we believe, and we'll do it until we can't. I mean,
and we all have to believe we're going to come out better and stronger on the other end of this.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is awesome. Oh, wait a minute. Look who's on the iPhone.
I came back. Hold on, wait.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, I'm touching things. How are you, Eloy?
Good. Could you?
I'm back. This is not the same Tuesday or Wednesday night. It's a little weird, but I'm getting used to the Zoom thing. Zooming everything.
Zooming everything. So tell us a little about who you are, just to everybody, and your connection with Neirs Tavern, while my son screams in the background.
Hey, Evan. Well, I am a Neirs 190 original committee member. Yay. I came to Neirs through, I guess, my husband, but then back a little bit longer than that, trivia. You know, we just found Neirs a place where you can go and relax with your friends and have a drink and have an appetizer and feel comfortable as a older woman walking in a bar and not feeling, you know, uncomfortable or scared. And then it just became a place of home. Like everybody knows you and talks to you, and it's just the place to go and, you know, after work, and to talk to friends and hang out. And it's a community. That's what you've said. It's not just going to get a beer or a glass of wine. I could do that here by myself. It's just home, you know. My husband played guitar there with his band a few New Year's Eves. My whole family's been there. Anybody from out of town we bring to Neirs too. It's like, you got to come to this place. And I don't know, it's just, it holds a place in your heart for some reason that you just can't, you know, let go of. So I'm here, but I've been working home electronically because I'm a teacher. So I've been Zooming everything, which is not easy to do with 4-year-olds, because I know you have a 4-year-old at home. So imagine 13 Evans or 14 Evans on the computer at the same time. So that's been my life for a while. We were sick here, unfortunately, but we're through the best of it now, and everybody's back to work. So we're doing okay. Your mic is off. Turn your mic on, Loy. There you go.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for being part of the Neirs 190 committee, and everything that you've done. It's been amazing. You were the epitome of what a beautiful customer community is all about. So thank you, and so many people that's on this call as well. I'm gonna move over to Kenichi. Kenny, stop working. Hold on. Let me see if I can, Kenny, can you hear me? I don't know. I think he's muted. All right. It looks like he's distracted. He's triple multitasking. So we got Paul. Let me see if I can get Paul. Paul.
I'm here.
Okay. Oh, you're on. Okay, beautiful.
Proudly displaying.
I'm trying to find. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's got the Neirs mug. Oh, beautiful. I'm gonna take. Guys, let's do this quick. I'm gonna take a screenshot. Is everybody okay with that? With the mug held up and everything. That's gonna be great. Okay, on the count of 3. 1.
Hey, Kiko wants to put on his Neir shirt.
Okay.
Okay.
He's coming back.
All right, we'll give him a couple minutes.
All right. So in the meantime, Paul, could you just introduce yourself and your?
Yeah, so I'm in my 60s. Okay, so and I moved out of my parents moved out of Woodhaven in 1967. All right, and we lived in Long Island in Colmac actually, but Woodhaven is very near and dear to me, and I've got some very good friends that remain in Woodhaven, and so my mother refers to Neirs, and she would go as a teenager for Neirs for beers. And right, drinking was only 18 at the time and not 21. And so I was probably, truth be told, maybe 16 when I had my first beer there at Neirs. Okay, don't call the state liquor authority on that. Huh?
No.
So that was my first experience. You've done a great thing. I support Neirs, and when I saw you and the mayor on TV, I felt so great, and to be part of the effort. So I thank you for all you've done, and I look forward to the 200.
Yeah, definitely. So 200, we'll be doing this again at 200. Yes. But thank you, Paul, for everything. And one thing that Paul did was he gave these little lanterns. Is it lanterns? The term?
It is.
And it was inscribed Neirs Tavern. I think one of them said 190 years. And it was this lantern you could hold by the handle, and you could put it, and there's a remote. You can light it with the remote. And thank you. I had that on the mantelpiece for the longest time. Thank you for that, and I appreciate the gift.
So, I look forward to seeing the one back at Neirs when we reopen, right? At that point, right? So I'm happy to bring batteries to your place if you need it. I want to see it lighting, okay? Yeah. Believe me.
Light it up again, yeah. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So if Kenny is still around, Kenny, you still able to see us? I want to get to Kenny because he was also a 190 member. And he's played a very important role as well.
Good guy.
But it looks like he's a little distracted. But either way, let's take this quick picture while we can. Paul has actually inspired me with the mug. And we can take a good big cheese on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Cheese.
All right, I think you got it. All right, beautiful. So, Barbara, I'm going to get to you right now. And what we're doing is just going around and telling just your name and you got in contact with Neirs Tavern, how you end up being a supporter.
Well, my husband and I started going to Neirs, I guess, I don't know, about 2.5, 3 years ago. We were looking for a place to do trivia because we like trivia. And we thought we were really good at it until we went to Neirs and tried doing their trivia, which is so much harder than trivia anywhere else. And we wound up making some friends while we were there, some friends whose names we know, some friends whose names we don't know. Everybody was always very welcoming. It's like going to Cheers. Like, everybody might not know your name, but they know your face. And they know where you sit. Like, Lisa will reserve our seat for us. We're the couple that sits by the stage, But even though they don't know your name, they're always very, very welcoming. Yvette, the first time we went in, made it a point to come and sit with us and make sure that we felt welcome into this new place that we had come to. Because we're not from Woodhaven, neither my husband nor myself, although we are relatively local. We live in Glendale. So I just wish parking would be better, Lloyd. You got to do something about the parking, as if that were up to you. But we enjoy our time at Neirs, and we're really missing going there and being amongst everybody there and being amongst friends and just having a night out. And I think it's wonderful that you do all these community-based kind of things, just like this happy hour. Like, I would never even think to do something like this, but it's such a great idea. And you come up with all these great ideas to keep the community involved.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Well, a lot of it has just been community inspired. People just put a bug in my ear. Like, actually, these are the things that I want to do. However, with everything that's going on, sometimes you get competing priorities, and it's like you want to do certain things, but then things get in the way. And then, you know, what really happened as well is that, you know, people like Glenn kind of said to me, you know, when are we going to do this thing? And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. And so when the community supports you and remind you and nudge you along, you get inspired to kind of put those ideas together and create beautiful experiences like this. And that's what it's about. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Barbara, and say hi to your husband and entire family. Hopefully they're safe.
Will do. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we only have 3 minutes. So matter of fact, we're gonna finish off with, let's see, Mario C NYC.
Yeah.
And so we got like 2 minutes because I wanna, we can do this together where we kind of like cheer the first responders. So please tell us a little bit about you.
I'm actually, my name is Karen. I'm using my husband's Zoom. And I was actually introduced to Neirs by Charlotte and John. I think they came regularly. They moved now, but anyway, I didn't grow up in Woodhaven, but I've been living here on 85th Road by the library since 1982. And one day, I know Charlotte and John from the dog run, and one day they were going out, they're saying there's going to be a band at this place, Neirs. And I almost couldn't believe it because not to sound snobbish or anything, but I said, I would never go to some dive bar in Woodhaven because that's how I kind of pictured bars in Woodhaven for some reason. But I was so pleasantly surprised. And then I have brought several people there. I'm not a party animal like my friend Nancy, so not as regular. But I've been to several things, the bingos, karaoke, you know, the comedy nights. And I just love, you know, the whole atmosphere, and that Goodfellas was filmed there. I actually have this book, Walking Queens, and you know you're in it, right? Because I do the walking tours, and you know they have Neirs, so I love the thing from the letter from the World War II vet who got married there. I just find it to be such a cool place. So I have brought several people, you know, to Neirs, my friend Kathy and Karen, and also we were always so grateful because your community spirit should be applauded. And you also, I was very involved with the dog run, the Canine Corral, and you were our judge, so you know, twice. And I know Bobby Flash. I think you were our photographer, right? So you know, we were always grateful for your community spirit. It's just has to be applauded and amazing. And this was just really such a nice, wonderful thing. So thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen. It's been great. So we appreciate that, and thanks everybody for coming on. What we're gonna do, we're gonna finish by thanking the, I think it's thank you hour for the first responders and everyone that's actually on the front lines right now trying to keep us safe. It's been tough. So it's just about 7, actually just hit 7. So what we're gonna do for 30 seconds, and this will be my top, we're just gonna give a nice round of applause. All right, hold on, I'm gonna try to unmute everyone. Let's see how this works.
Your baby.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Baby over.
All right.
Round of applause for the first responders.
Let's hear it.
All the first responders, frontline workers. It's amazing. Thank you guys.
Margaret.
Okay, this is what it's about. Thank you.
Awesome.
28, 29, 30. Thank you guys. Awesome. Thank you guys. This has been crazy great. I wanted to refill my wine, but I was just having such a good time. I totally forgot. I was hoping to have 2 glasses, but I was only to have 1 because I was talking so much. But thank you.
Good seeing you all.
Yeah, there's still time.
Good seeing you
Yeah,
all.
Lloyd, I had 2 for you.
You had 2. So
Nancy,
maybe
nice to see you.
maybe next week will be what's your favorite color and why? We'll come up with a topic. Oh, by the way, so I'm putting together a Facebook group that's attached to Neir's Tavern specifically, so that we can come together under one Facebook group and talk about Neir's Tavern, the plans. I can do Facebook Live within that. It's basically for people like us that are super supportive of Neir's Tavern and trying to push the mission forward to 200 years old. So that would be a great thing that we're going to do. So I'll be putting it together, and hopefully you guys will be able to be in there, and we can have regular discussion on the future and what we're trying to do, especially after this. So thank you, everybody. This has been incredible. Thank you, guys. Have a good. I'm gonna end.
Thank you.
I miss you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.